For me, the mission statement for Washington Appleseed really just drills down to an organization that's filled with folks who want to right the wrongs of those who are underserved in the community. We're not limited to the type of work we do as long as it has a nexus to social justice.
The Reentry Guide is going to be like a handbook for, what to do when you get out. And so it's going to be the starting point for folks who do need a lot of help.
So I was released from prison in 2013, and although I was able to keep my license as a registered nurse, I was unable to find a job. The Reentry Guide would have helped me in a variety of ways. For example, I wasn't able to find housing immediately upon my release, and I was homeless for a few months, which means I had to separate from my children. And if I would have known where to go of a landlord that would rent to me, even though I had a criminal record, that would have been very helpful.
The fact is that oftentimes there are paths to expungement. There are things that people can do to get their record clear. And what the Reentry Guide will do is really help break that down so that people can navigate those processes and actually take advantage of the rights that they have.
1 in 3 people in our country has a criminal record that could stigmatize them and hold them back. People don't realize that it's your neighbors, it's your grocery store clerk, people from all different professions. All of us are implicated in the system in some way. We are the largest marginalized group in this country. I don't think that the judge sentenced me to a lifetime of punishment. I think that in society we want people to overcome and to become contributing taxpayers and to become, volunteering in their children's school again and PTA mom, and all of that is closed off to me. I can't do those things because of my criminal record.
The fact that more than half the people who come out at some point end up back in jail or in prison is unacceptable, and it should be unacceptable to us as a society.
Art is the person who is really the beginning of this project that we're trying to do with the Appleseed and with the coalition. He was raised in foster care, and his family story is one of those horrible stories. There were 4 children, but 2 of them the parents felt were evil, and Art was one of the 2. Eventually their parents gave them up to foster care. He ended up being bounced around from one foster home to another, from one group home to another, and he started getting in trouble with the law. And at age 16, he just aged out of the foster care system, which is what happens to a lot of these kids. He learned street skills of stealing and robbing and ended up killing a woman. So he's been in prison ever since. When I met Art, he started saying that all the kids he knew from bouncing around foster care would end up in prison. And he started thinking about why that was. When I talked with Appleseed, I got perhaps the most enthusiastic response. They were just excited about this project from the beginning. We instantly started talking about how we could work together. This could work, we can do this, and the rest is history.
A lot of these lifers were state raised. They went through the foster care system, they were in group homes, and they want to make change. And so they invited Washington Appleseed and some other organizations in a coalition to come listen to them and talk about, how to tackle this problem, how to investigate the problem, how to collect data about the problem, and then, of course, to find some solutions to the problem.
There is no statistic about how many foster care kids end up in prison. We want to do a study that is so good that it becomes the basis for other state studies. And we have put together a coalition that can do it, a really good coalition.
We're talking about human beings, right? And you have to think of these people when they were children. They were children, they were state raised, and they had these sometimes awful experiences.
One of the things that we want to do through this project is make the state be responsible for the kids who they are theoretically responsible for, to really be responsible.
We are a small organization, and to get to where I would love us to be in 2025 or 2030, we need to grow. And in order to grow, we need people who are willing to give. We need corporations who are willing to give. We need law firms who are willing to give.
I think it's really important that lawyers understand the power and privilege that they have and the ways that they can make a meaningful impact in so many lives. Using your education and your power and your privilege and your access for good is what the legal profession is all about.
Mass incarceration is not something that America wants to be first in.
If I could wave a magic wand and fix this system, I would start with our youth. I see so many people that suffer with all of the issues that bring them to incarceration are some of the brightest, smartest people in our country. We should no longer stigmatize and hold them back.